Let me preface this tale with a question. Have you ever been shoved into a small, enclosed space, dragged to a place filled with chaos, noise, and overly perfumed humans, and expected to enjoy it? No? Then you, my friend, are luckier than me. It started when Emma, my human, decided she needed deals. Deals, as far as I can tell, are things humans obsess over, even though they already own enough stuff to build a second house. She turned to me one morning, holding the dreaded backpack carrier, a bubble-windowed monstrosity in sleek black and neon green. "Fluffy," she cooed in that sing-song voice reserved for bad news, "we're going shopping." Shopping. The word struck fear into my whiskers. I eyed the carrier with suspicion. The last time I'd been in one of those, it hadn't been Emma carrying me, but my former owners, Sharon and Tim. And where did they take me? To the vet. Ah, yes. The fateful day of the snip. I'd gone to sleep whole, with dreams of catnip fields and tuna fountains, only to wake up groggy, sore, and altered. No one warned me I'd be coming home lighter in the rear department. From that moment on, I developed a deep distrust of small, enclosed spaces, and anyone who thinks snip-snip is a cute way to describe betrayal. Shopping, I thought, crouching low and flattening my ears. I'd rather sleep in the dog's bed. Emma, however, is as relentless as a hungry raccoon. Treats were offered, coups were made, and before I knew it, I was zipped into the carrier and hoisted onto her back. The indignity. At least the bubble window gave me a view of my impending doom. The ride of terror. We zipped through the streets on Emma's motorbike, my bubble window giving me a front row seat to a blur of houses, trees, and other humans who clearly had better things to do than shop. The wind ruffled my fur, but not in a romantic movie hero kind of way. More like, help, I'm a dandelion in a hurricane. Emma, ever chatty, shouted over the engine noise, "You're going to love this, Fluffy. There's a pet store too. Maybe we'll get you a new toy." A toy? I thought, gripping the carrier's interior. Unless it's a plane ticket to freedom, I'll pass. The Mall of Madness. The mall was a circus of chaos, a bustling sea of humans armed with shopping bags, coffee cups, and the occasional screaming child. Emma strolled in confidently, her black coat flaring like she owned the place. I peeked through the bubble window, already regretting my decision to come along. First stop, the clothing store. Emma sifted through racks of discounted sweaters, holding up one in a questionable shade of green. "What do you think, Fluffy?" she asked, not expecting an answer, but smiling as if we were having a real conversation. I gave her my best withering look. "I think Kermit called. He wants his wardrobe back." The longer she shopped, the more ridiculous it became. People fought over socks. Socks. One man actually growled when someone tried to take a pair from his cart. I couldn't decide whether to laugh or pity them. Humans, I thought, truly have no idea how to hunt properly. The food court fiasco. Emma eventually took a break in the food court, setting the carrier on the table while she sipped coffee and nibbled on a pastry. I pressed my nose to the bubble window, surveying the chaos. A man nearby dropped his tray, spilling fries everywhere. A toddler grabbed a fistful of ketchup and smeared it on his face like war paint. This, I mused, is why cats rule the world. Quiet dignity, people. Look it up. A woman with a tiny dog in a rhinestone harness passed by, her pup glaring at me. "What are you looking at, furball?" I thought, resisting the urge to hiss. The balloon incident. The toy store was our next stop, and that's when I saw it. A helium balloon floating untethered near the ceiling. Its silvery surface shimmered like a mystical orb. I watched, transfixed, as it drifted lazily through the air. "What's that?" I whispered to myself. A cat toy for the gods? Emma didn't notice as I stretched a paw toward the bubble window, swatting at the unreachable. The balloon hovered above a child's head, and for a moment I fantasized about leaping through the air and claiming it as my prize. Alas, I remained trapped. As we meandered through the pet store, I spotted him. A Pomeranian in a sequined jacket, riding in a bedazzled carrier. He met my gaze, and it was warm. His tongue lolled stupidly out of his mouth, but his eyes said, "Try me, cat." "Oh, I'll try you," I thought, staring him down. The tension crackled like static electricity until Emma pulled me away. The checkout line. The final stretch was the checkout line, a battlefield of impatience and irritation. A woman argued over a coupon that had expired in 2008. A man's cart overflowed with enough canned goods to survive an apocalypse. And then there was us. Emma with her pile of sweaters and me, silently judging the lot of them. "I've seen more order in a litter box," I muttered, earning a curious glance from the cashier. The ride home. By the time we left, the sun was setting, and the chaos of the mall faded behind us. I settled into the carrier, surprisingly content. Sure, humans were strange, loud, and baffling creatures, but they were also endlessly entertaining. As Emma revved the motorbike, I gazed through the bubble window, my tail flicking lazily. Maybe, I thought, shopping isn't so bad after all, but let's not make a habit of it. Closing thoughts. And that, dear reader, is how I survived the post-Christmas shopping apocalypse. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need a nap. Judging humanity is exhausting work.